Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so excited about today's video. We're going to be playing around with the Ulta Black Widow collaboration eyeshadow palette and face palette. There was a whole collection done. I'll drop a picture into the video so you can kind of see what everything looks like. But there was an eyeshadow palette, there was a face palette, there was a lipstick with a lip pencil, a makeup bag, and I think a couple other things. The only thing I picked up was the eyeshadow palette and the face palette. I don't use bullet lipsticks, and that's the kind of lipstick that came in the collection. You guys know me, I like liquid lipstick, so I didn't want to get something that I know that I'm not really going to get much use out of, and I have plenty of makeup bags, so I didn't get any of that. I'm a huge Marvel fan, as you can see. And so when I saw that Ulta had done a collaboration with Black Widow, I definitely wanted to grab these. I've never used the Ulta eyeshadow formula. I heard a couple of people say that the formula is not very good. I did do some swatches. I'm gonna go ahead and drop those in. And I would say just from the swatches that the formula is kind of, but you'll see for yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the swatches in, and then we'll do an eye look and we'll talk about it more. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do our swatches. We're basically going to do it the way that I usually do swatches whenever I'm doing eyeshadow palette videos. And I'm going to start from the top row, then do the second row, and then do the third row. And then we'll come back, we'll do an eye look, and we'll just talk about the formulas and what we thought about them. All right, this is the top row. From left to right, we have Safe House. Safe House is kind of just your basic neutral setting shade, so it's really kind of hard to see. Then you have Heroic, Fighter, and Relentless. All right, this is the middle row. You have Fiery, Covert, Sabotage, and Power. Fiery and Sabotage are the two shimmers. Covert and Power are the two mattes. The mattes swatched pretty well, but the shimmers had a little difficulty with those. And these are the last four. We have Agent, Cipher, Infiltrate, and Undercover. Cipher is kind of another neutral, all over type of a setting shade. It's a little bit darker than Safe House, but pretty similar. I had a difficult time with swatching these two as well, but we'll see how they play on the eyelid. And that is all of these shadows swatched. And let's go ahead and put together an eye look. Hopefully they'll play better on the eyelid than they did in the swatches. Pulled you guys in just a little bit closer so we can go ahead and try to do an eye look with these shadows. As you can see from just the swatches, I was having a little bit of a difficulty with some of them. These two shimmers right here, Heroic and Relentless, they swatched really, really well. All the other ones were kind of hard pressed. They didn't swatch very well, and the mattes were just kind of, But, those are finger swatches, and as we all know, finger swatches aren't necessarily accurate when it comes to how they'll play on the eyelid. So let's go ahead, do an eye look on the eyelid, and hopefully the shadows will blend, better on the actual eyelid itself. Priming my eyelids with my Juvia's Place Concealer. You guys know this is my favorite way to prime my eyelids right now. I've tried a couple of eyeshadow primers, but I haven't found one that I just really, really love just yet. So for now, I'm sticking with my Juvia's Place. What are we going to do first? I think I'm going to take a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to take Agent and kind of use that to just kind of set down my concealer that I'm using to prime, and then maybe we'll go into Fighter, Covert, and Power, and then throw in a shimmer. We'll just kind of see what happens. But first, let's dig into Agent here. I'm really hoping that these shadows play well on the eyes, because in the swatches, I was not too impressed. I'm part of a makeup group. I'm actually an administrator, and I shared pictures of the palette, both the eyeshadow palette and the face palette, when I first got them. And a couple of members of the group were saying that they'd seen reviews and they said that the shadows were not very good. This is my first time using an Ulta eyeshadow formula. I've never used any of the Ulta products. Excuse me. Ooh, a little powdery. I've never used any of the Ulta products before, so this is my first time playing around with their formula. So, this is a whole new experience. That one laid down pretty well, but that's just basically your everyday taupey neutral shade. Nothing really fantastic there. So, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to dip into Fighter just to kind of deepen up the crease. Just a little bit of fallout. A little powdery. Let's see how it goes in the eyelid. It's pretty pigmented. So far, I'm not having a whole lot of trouble with them on the eyelid. They're definitely blending better on the eyelid than they were in the swatches. The swatches, they just did not want to swatch well at all. Especially the shimmers in the second and third row. They were just, whoop. But so far, I'm not having any trouble with the matte so far. You'll see what the deeper shades look like. Now I'm going to go into Cobra, which is kind of this burgundy brown kind of shade here. This one is definitely a little more powdery than the other ones. I'm going to take that, just kind of deepen this area right here in the crease. And then we'll take the Power shade, which is a little bit darker, and just kind of do the outer corner with that. So how are you guys hanging in there? We're in Memphis, Tennessee, and I think we're in like week 6 of our, quarantine, stay at home, or safer at home is what they call it, orders here. The governor has lifted the stay at home orders effective April 30th. Yeah, there are 30 days in this month, April 30th. So at that point, starting May 1st, the mayors can start to reopen businesses. Our mayor has pushed the reopening date to the 5th, so that's kind of what we're aiming for right now. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that things are probably never going to be the way that they were before. Our idea of normal, it's not going to exist anymore. It's just been, these are crazy times that we have been living in, crazy and scary times. And I admit, I have not been handling things very well. My kids, they've been handling things like they've been troopers. Me, I've had some rough days of for me, not having control over my life is just very, very difficult. And it has just been very, very, very hard for me lately. Just to kind of, get through the day to day. But, there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. So, we'll see what's going to happen. So far, I'm not really having a whole lot of problem with the mattes. This one, that Cobra shade, that one blended pretty well too. It's not like the best eyeshadow formula I've ever used, but so far I'm not really having much trouble. Now I'm going to take, what is this? Now I'm going to take the Power shade. That's kind of a reddish, kind of burgundy shade. I'm going to put that on the outer corner. Ooh, one thing I would say about these shadows, powdery. Woo! Fallout is to be expected with shadows. All shadows have some kind of a fallout, but these definitely have a little bit more. See, look at that. I'm getting a little bit on my cheek right there. Ooh, I'm going to kind of dust that away. The formula itself, it's not horrible. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints. It's not my favorite eyeshadow formula, like I said, but it's pretty. Now, this looks red in the pan, but on the eyes, it's a lot darker. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of red. Are you seeing much red? It's playing a little bit different on the eyelid than it's playing in the pan. It's pretty. I don't have any issues with it. It's kind of that nice, deep, grungy, Black Widow kind of effect going on. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just kind of blend everything out just a little bit. Then we're going to lay down one of those shimmer shades. The shimmer shadows are the ones that I was having the most difficult time with in the swatch, so I'm very curious to see how those play on the eyelids. All right, now to decide what shimmer we want to do. I think I want to play with one of these down here because these are the ones that I had the most difficult time with. So I'm going to do Infiltrate, lay that here on the eyelid, and then maybe take Cipher and put that in the inner corner and then bring that kind of down here. Just very, very curious to see how those play. But Fiery also didn't swatch very well either. I might bring that into the look, but let's just go ahead and start with Infiltrate first, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to use this flat brush. I may have to switch to my finger, but we'll see. So first, we're going to try to put it on without wetting the brush and just kind of see what happens. And then, I may have to wet the brush if I need a little bit more pow when it's not going on the eyelid very well, but let's see how it does with just the dry brush first. I'm going to lay that down right here. The shade itself is very pretty. It's kind of a gunmetal grayish blue. It's a little chunky. Let me try spraying the brush. Ooh, I can hear my little man waking up. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go downstairs. I'll bring you some breakfast. My little man just woke up. I was hoping to get this done before he woke up, but he is awake. So we're going to lay down this gunmetal, what is this? Infiltrate shade real quick. And then I'm going to run downstairs and get his breakfast started. And we'll come back and we'll kind of finish up the look. It's being a mommy. I sprayed the brush a little bit, my Urban Decay setting spray. It's okay. I'm not very thrilled with this. This is definitely not my favorite shimmer. Let me try taking a finger. I'm going to dip into it and see if that helps. See, I don't like, it's okay. It's not horrible. Like right there, you see that? How kind of really shiny metallic that looks. it's not translating on the eyelid the same way though. I'm not really impressed with that. Like I said, it's not a horrible shimmer, but it's definitely not my favorite. I have shimmers in other palettes. I have shimmers in my Colourpop palettes that are just phenomenal, but right off the bat, I can say I'm not a big fan of Ulta's shimmer formula. Baby boy's downstairs, all settled. He took his vitamins, eating his breakfast, came back up here, got everything set up, hit record, thought that I was recording for a good 2 minutes, so I let and realized that I wasn't. My camera just kind of shut off and I'm like, was not filming at all. But what I did before everything kind of went is I took the Fighter shade and I kind of blended it in the top just to kind of blend everything together. The matte so far I am liking, but the shimmer, the one Infiltrate shade that I've done so far, I'm just not a big fan of it. Went on kind of patchy. I don't know, it's definitely not my favorite. And then I took my e.l.f. crease brush and I went into Covert and I laid that down on the outer edge. So yeah, it kind of sucks when you're like thinking you're filming and then you realize, oh, I have not been filming at all this entire time. But what I was saying was that being a little bit, older, over the age of 40, I like this brush because it just kind of gets in there. It gets into the crease really, really well when you want details. And then you kind of take this and you put it underneath the eyelid and it just helps just kind of gently pat that shadow there because, not being in my 20s anymore, having a little bit more, looser skin, wrinkly skin, I have to be a little more gentle down there. Let's do our inner corner highlight and then we'll move on from there. Take my little brush. I go into Cipher, just kind of a bronzy kind of shimmer, because this is one of the shimmers I had a hard time with in the swatches. I want to see how it lays down on the eyes. Oh, you know what? That's a little dark. I'm going to take that here, and then I'm going to put one of the lighter shimmers on the outside. So you can see that is way too dark for an inner highlight. So I'm just going to put that underneath here and blend that into that Cipher shade. And I'll take another little brush and we'll go into Heroic. It's going to be lighter shimmer here and use that as our inner highlight. It's not much better, but it's okay. Ooh, see, it's like you can see a little dark shadow from where. Let me try to blend that out a little bit first and then go back and fix that shimmer. Okay, that's better. That's a little bit better. Kind of blended it out. Having a little trouble this morning with this eye look. Lay that down there in the inner corner. All right, I think that's about the best that we're going to do with that. Let's move on to the face palette. I didn't do a separate swatch video for this one, so we'll go ahead and we'll swatch it now. But this is just your basic everyday face palette. You have a contour, a blush, and a highlighter. Let's go ahead and we'll swatch these so we can kind of see what they look. I don't really ever contour or bronze for that matter, so that's not something that really matters to me. But there's that kind of a bronzy contour shade there. Then we have Intelligence, which is at the blush. It's a pretty nice little pinky shade there. And then we have the highlight. This is called Electric. Let's see how this looks. That's pretty. So you're going to get like a closer look there. It's pretty, it's not bad. It's definitely not like a blinding highlighter, but we'll see what it looks like on the skin. Dipping into the Intelligence blush here. Woo! Powdery! Let's see what the pigment is like. I'm just going to kind of lightly dab onto the cheeks. We never know if the pigment is going to be, too much or too little. So far, it's not too bad. It's got a decent amount of pigment. It's blending nicely. I like the shade. It's a very pretty pink shade. Like I said, I don't ever contour or bronze or anything. So if there's a contour or bronze shade in a palette, usually it will never get used. I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty tan already. And I find when I contour, I just look like I have mud on my face. Like seriously, I just look like I have dirt on my face. Contour does not do well on me. But that's a blush lay down. It's a blush. Nothing phenomenal, but it's pretty. Blend it really nicely. It's a nice shade. Let's move on to the highlighter. Taking my Chic Pro highlighting brush. Y'all, this was $3 from Five Below. It's one of my absolute favorite highlighting brushes. I'm just going to kind of dip into this. See, this is Electric is what the highlighter is called. Just going to see what that looks like on the face. It's actually very pretty. I will say that if you have You know, more fair skin, this might be a little dark, but it's a very pretty bronzy shade. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and kind of blend it all out. It's just a little bit too much kind of going on, but it's pretty. It's a very, very pretty highlight. I'm not mad at it. I'm going to take my blush brush and just kind of blend that into the blush, kind of blend the hot. I want to kind of melt the two together. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to do liner, lashes, put on my lips and my lip liner and all that jazz, and we'll come back and we'll do some final thoughts. And we're back. Lips, lashes, liner, all that is done. My liner is my Love Lust Disco Liner from NYX. I absolutely love this one. My mascara is my Essence Lashes of the Day mascara. I'm using my NK lip liner. This is in red, and my lip color is the Full Spectrum Covergirl. This is the Matte Idol in Gains. This is one of my absolute favorite ones. Very pretty shade, pigmented, natural, lasts for hours. Foundation, I'm using the Leica Light Skin Tint. This is from Florence by Mills. I actually just got this. Florence by Mills, the website had a 40% off on the Tinted Moisturizer and the concealer, so I didn't kind of want to try it, so I went and get it. I actually got this for my daughter, but I wanted to try it out myself. I was curious about the formula. It's a nice formula. It's not, you know, my absolute favorite. If you're just looking for something in natural everyday, I mean, it's a skin tinted moisturizer. It's not meant to have a lot of coverage, but I prefer something with more coverage. So I ended up mixing it with my Colourpop No Filter foundation. Like I said, it's not a bad formula. My 15-year-old, this is going to be perfect for her, for just a nice little light, you know, even skin tone. Final thoughts on the palettes, both of them, the eyeshadow and the face palette. This is definitely not my favorite eyeshadow formula. I don't know if all the Ulta eyeshadow formulas are like this one, but just from this one palette, I can say that I am not fond of the Ulta formula. Now, I don't know, some of their other shadows may be, you know, better. They may have other formulas and other eyeshadow palettes or singles or whatever, but this one was definitely not my favorite. Color story-wise, wasn't really my favorite either. I mean, it's not a horrible palette. It's not a horrible formula. It's just not my favorite. Now, I am a huge Black Widow fan, huge Marvel fan, which is the main reason why I got this. So I'll be honest, even if the formula wasn't that great, I'd probably, you know, get it anyway because I like to display it. As you can see, I've been kind of working with my background. My husband helped put some shelves up, and we've had to kind of do some rearranging, but I wanted to put up display some of my more collectible palettes. I have my Sabrina palette up there, the spell book. I have one from Mulan, which are there. I have my Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian palette up there, and then I have, which way? There's a Supernatural palette and the Moana palette. The Supernatural, the Moana, and the Mulan, they came from Hot Topic. The Mulan palette and the Supernatural palette, awesome formulas. The Moana one, crap, they did my girl wrong. That one is just bad. But back to this one. This is a face palette. You know, it's a face palette. I don't bronze or contour, so I didn't really try this one on my face. But you know, these two, they're nice. You know, it's a nice blush formula. Looks pretty on the skin. It's a nice highlighter. You know, it's nice and a glow. Is it the best form I've ever used? No. Is it something that I think you just need to have? Probably not, but if you're like me and you're a collector, you know, it's nice and Black Widow themed, and you know, it'll look cute in your shelf as, you know, part of an eyeshadow palette collection like the one that I have back there. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you join my little family. You know, we're kind of small, but we're slowly building up. And you let me know what you think about the way that I'm trying to do my background setup. I'll probably add some lights or something back there eventually just to kind of brighten it up. But you know, I needed something a little more back there because all I had was that picture and it was a little bit boring, and I wanted something a little more exciting. But you know, make sure to hit the subscribe tab, you know, little tab underneath the video, and the notification bell so you'll be notified of future videos. Guys, take care of yourself, stay safe, you know, just try to find some things that, you know, can bring a little bit of joy throughout the day, because these are stressful times. Trust me, I know. Like I said, I've been having a couple of rough days. You know, be safe, take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.